Bible Lessons Daily. Ancient truth for modern life.
We live in an era of unparalleled technological and economic power. Yet, despite our ability to control our physical environment, internal exhaustion and anxiety are sitting at record highs. The evidence is in the details of the daily grind. Bills pile up faster than they can be paid. Relationships strain under the pressure of constant busyness. And when the house finally goes quiet, a restlessness remains that no amount of success seems to quiet. Our natural instinct is to outwork the chaos. We try to manage our way into a sense of security, assuming that if we just do enough, the internal storm will finally calm down. But for many, that effort only deepens the feeling of emptiness. If our best methods for external control aren't producing internal peace, there is likely a flaw in how we are approaching the problem. We are treating a spiritual weight as if it were a scheduling conflict. True peace cannot be manufactured through sheer effort or environmental control. To find it, we have to look toward a strategy that exists outside our modern framework. 2,000 years ago, a historical figure offered a perspective on suffering that remains a radical alternative to self-reliance. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus Christ issued an invitation. "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He didn't ask people to come once they had their lives in order, or only after they had reached a certain level of perfection. He simply said, "Come." The historical accounts show him moving toward people who are already at their breaking point, those the culture ignored, those burdened by guilt, and those who felt completely lost in their own circumstances. He taught a specific way to handle the weight of the future, telling his followers, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." He was calling for a deliberate separation between the uncontrollable anxieties of the future and the reality of the present moment. This approach shifts the objective from achieving total control over our lives to surrendering that control in the present, trusting that we aren't meant to carry the weight alone. This wasn't just a philosophical idea. It was tested in the middle of a literal storm on the Sea of Galilee. While crossing the water, the disciples were caught in a gale. The waves were crashing against their boat, and these experienced fishermen were convinced they were going to die. In the middle of their panic, Jesus remained completely calm. He was physically present in the same danger, but his response to the life-threatening storm was entirely different from theirs. Jesus stood up and spoke directly to the wind and the waves. According to the account, the natural elements obeyed him immediately. The violent weather ceased and the sea became perfectly still. For those who witnessed it, the implication was clear. The power that governs nature is the same power offering to carry the burdens of the human heart. The incident on the water reveals a hierarchy of power. If the wind and waves submit to his voice, it suggests that our own efforts to grasp at total control are misplaced. We are trying to master forces that respond to a different authority altogether. This redefines what faith actually looks like. Rather than making problems disappear, faith and problems exist simultaneously. The purpose of faith is changing the weight distribution, ensuring that when the storm arrives, the pressure is a shared burden, not carried in isolation. The most profound miracle takes place while the wind is still howling. It's the arrival of a quiet internal peace alongside the external chaos. This remains true for anyone who feels exhausted today, anyone who feels lost or crushed by the weight of things they cannot change. Finding that peace begins with a single shift in focus. It means looking past the uncontrollable problem and trusting that God's love is larger than the fear currently occupying your mind. Surrender can be expressed in a very simple way. For many, it starts with the words, "God, I need you." Take a look at the weight you've been carrying for far too long. What specific burden in your life do you need to place in God's hands today?
What lesson spoke to your heart today? Tell us in the comments and subscribe for daily Bible wisdom.